Oh, it's Jinder's Gear Reviews.
All right, welcome back to Jinder's Gear Reviews, ladies and gentlemen, where over the coming months I'll be doing a series of reviews chatting about the gear that works for me and the stuff that I've used over the last 23 years of being full-time with music. And today I'd like to talk about something which is a key part of my recorded tone. I've used these mics for probably since about 2006, so about 14 years. I've been in thrall to this wonderful microphone, which is the SE Gemini II. There it is. It's an unwieldy beast, as you can see. I have huge hands, and it even looks like a handful in my hands. It's a big, big microphone. It's big for a couple of different reasons. Firstly, it's a large diaphragm condenser microphone. You've obviously gathered this. If you're watching this, you'll probably know what this mic is. It's a dual valve mic. It has a 12AX7 in the input stage, and rather than having a transformer, a stock, it comes with a 12AU7, and it just has a wonderful depth, a really deep sound stage, a very kind of sort of fundamental sound in the mids. It's brilliant for voiceover work. It's brilliant for spoken word, for vocals. It's great on acoustic guitar. It's a revelation. I didn't use it on acoustic guitar for years, and eventually I put it in front of a guitar and it just sings with acoustic guitar. This is a fantastic microphone. It does have quite a sibilant top end. It's a very basically SE are kind of aiming this mic at people who want a valve mic with the solid state style clarity in the top end. I find when I'm EQing it in Logic, I find I notch it from 5K upwards because it does get a little bit sibilant. I tend to sort of be quite strong on S's and F's and so on as a singer, so I have to tame a little bit of that. But all mics require some EQ unless there's some sort of like miraculous thing that's perfectly tailored to your voice and your system. It has a noise floor of 12 dB, which isn't particularly shocking. It's a fixed pattern cardioid mic, but it does have, if I turn it this way, you can see it has a 10 dB pad and a bass roll-off switch. As a valve mic, it comes with a power supply, a big chunky kind of military grade brushed aluminium beast, which requires 240 volts and powers the mic, and it also has an output to an XLR. For reference, I'm running through a Van Dam Tour grade cable into a Saramonic Smart Rig UC interface and into my iPad Pro. As you can see there, you've got a big flight case style box with foam insert, the kind of thing you'd carry a high-end camera setup around in, and you can see the power supply there, the power supply cable, which is a big meaty military grade thing, and the mic in a lovely wooden box. Coming back to the mic itself, it's a phenomenally versatile mic. I wasn't happy personally with the stock valves in the mic. I thought the stock valves were okay, but were sort of lacking very slightly, so I went all out and tried loads of different valves in it. Genelex Gold Lion reissue valves were very sweet in it. They were very kind of smooth, but I found that at sort of somewhere near peak SPLs, they were the 12AX7 was distorting very slightly, so I changed them out. I spent quite a lot of money on some new old stock 1980s Philips valves, a 12AX7 WA for the input stage, and I want to say a 5751A for the output, but I can't tell you exactly. I got them from Watford Valves. They do them as an upgrade kit, sort of while stocks last for this mic, and they really kicked the mic into another gear, really improved the transients, really improved the smoothness. The top end was airy, detailed. It's got a double layer grill on the mic. I use this mic without a pop shield, just being aware of plosives when I'm singing and speaking. You can stick a pop shield in front of it. I recorded with one with a pop shield for a long time, but I found that the dual grill on the mic actually kind of negates the need for that. It has a massive frequency response, as you'd expect from an LDC. It goes from 20 Hertz up to 20K. And for me, this, for my vocal, is one of the very, very best valve mics I've used, one of the very best mics I've used full stop for vocals. I mean, I've recorded with some exquisite vintage equipment. You know, I've sung into the mics that, you know, that Mark Bolan and Donovan and people used at Rack. I've used you know, very ancient U87s, you know, that kind of thing. I've used M46s. I've used all manner of stuff, and this mic, I just keep coming back to it because it just feels right to me. It is a big, heavy microphone. It comes with, as I showed you in the box, this great big kind of scaffolding. It sort of looks a bit like some sort of space age era Soviet satellite, but this is the shock mount that it comes with, which is a great big weighty beast in itself. So you're going to want a heavy duty mic stand to put this on, otherwise you are going to find that it ends up hitting the floor. It's never happened with mine, just because as soon as I picked it up I was like, oh my god, I need to put this on a beefy stand. But you're going to want to be aware of that. But in terms of what this mic can handle, it's great for full male vocals, great for the big bass end, you know, and you know, it can go up all the way up there, and it doesn't get too kind of harsh. I mean, I would perhaps put a female vocalist in front of a slightly different SE mic, maybe the SE Isis or the Z5600A. They're both a little bit less kind of top end weighted, I suppose. The Isis in particular is brilliant for female vocals. I have one of those and we'll review that at some point as well. Bear in mind that what you're hearing has absolutely no post-production whatsoever. This is flat, dry, zero EQ, literally coming out of the power supply into the smart rig and then into the iPad. So you're hearing a very dry, flat signal, but with a little bit of kind of reverb, touch of compression, a little bit of top end roll off. This mic is just juicy. It's lovely, a lovely microphone. So my recommendation, if you want to spend sort of a fairly hefty amount of money on a mic, I mean, you're talking about the street price for these £1,000, 900 quid, something like that. They were a lot more when they came out, but they've come down a bit now. You can get them second hand. I bought this one used and I paid about £7 for it, something like that. This is years and years ago. So yeah, well worth investigating if you're looking for a top end sort of valve microphone without getting into the kind of, you know, the M146, you know, the reissue of the M46, the Neumann mics that are £4,000 plus. You know, I mean, they're wonderful microphones. But this is a great kind of middle ground for that sort of thing, and heartily recommended by myself. This is the SE Electronics Gemini II.